Und da sind wir wieder. Zur frühen Morgenstunde mit Genshin Impact. Let's go. Aber auch nicht lange. Tatsächlich. Also, wird jetzt vermutlich nur 2 Stunden streamen und dann hat sich die Sache. Naja. Wir sind zuletzt stehen geblieben in Sumeru. In der Wüste tatsächlich. Aber. In der Wüste tatsächlich. Habe ich den Check jetzt eigentlich drin? Nein. Ich frage mich immer, ob ich diesen Drops Enable Tag jetzt drin habe oder nicht. Es ist fragwürdig. Wo ist mein fucking zweites Handy? Scheiße. Egal. Anyways. Lass mal kurz die Truppe wechseln. Ich habe momentan meine Collectors-Truppe draußen, weil ich gerade, also bis eben, ich hatte einen Termin mit unserem mit unserer Wohnservice-Firma hier. Und nun ja. Währenddessen habe ich halt Genshin-Streams geguckt oder gelurkt, besser gesagt, und nebenher gefischt. Ich brauche immer noch für Catch. Nee. Es nervt mich. Diese Fischerei ist so lästig. Wo haben wir sie denn? Die waren, glaube ich, hier die Fische, ne? Ja. Wo sind sie da? Hey, immerhin habe ich die Rostkois zusammen, aber die goldenen Kois, die... Schwierig. Brauchen halt noch Ewigkeiten. So, da fällt mir ein, ich wollte noch nach einer Holzsorte suchen, tatsächlich. Scheiße. Kann ich mir eigentlich die Rezepte... Egal. Ich wollte tatsächlich hier mit Catherine reden. Ich muss auch noch die Truppe wechseln. Das ist mein Sumo-Team, ne? Hallo Catherine. Du hattest irgendeinen Dialog für mich.
Traveler, you've come at a good time.
Wait, this sounds like another commission.
It is as you say. The commission this time around is of high importance. It pertains to the safety of the Avidia Forest's inhabitants.
Lass mich raten.
What happened?
Not long ago,
Tainari.
we received word that a section of the Avidia Forest seems to have become contaminated.
Contaminated? You mean a new withering zone?
I don't know about the specifics, but I hear that strange things are happening to people who cross through that region. The Avidia Forest inhabitants won't leave their homes so easily. If we allow this contaminated region to expand, the consequences could be unimaginable. That's why I want to ask you to investigate the situation. Even if all you can do is stop the contamination from spreading, that will still save many people.
This is forest business. Maybe Tainari will know something. Let's go find him.
Tainari, der Auftraggeber. Wobei unwahrscheinlich, dass Tainari der Auftraggeber ist. Fragen und Antworten. Ja, das ist sein Eichhorn-Auftrag gewesen. Gut. Jetzt sind wir wieder da angelangt. So, dann holen wir kurz Shennis und Jelans Erkundung noch ab. Genauso wie Bennett's Erkundung nochmal. Okay. So. Und dann gehen wir... Back to the Archon Quest. Dahin. Okay, das ist ein cooles Symbol. So. Sprich mit der, okay. Muss mich vielleicht bei der Statue heilen sollen, egal. Wird schon schief gehen.
Hey, Dia!
Right on time. We'll know any moment now.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well. Have you been friends for a long time?
Wahrscheinlich.
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight outside the ring.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us Mercs, on the other hand,
Ich muss nicht
we
arbeiten.
pretty much live from
Nee,
one day
Max,
to the
tatsächlich
next.
nicht. Ich habe Urlaub.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great
Habe
too.
ich mir genommen.
Really? Thanks for that.
Hallo, Sino.
Oh, Sino's here, and he's pretty early too.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Oh, you mean you taught Candace some more persuasive methods?
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Ah, Sino bringt Feuertechniken bei. Okay. Sehr, sehr, sehr wild. Gucken wir uns das doch mal an.
Candace, where? Whoa, you look furious.
Do I? Huh. What gave it away?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry. I'm sure everyone present would agree.
Yes, ma'am. Please, don't beat us anymore. We're gonna die.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here, to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal. Tell me, what would you do to you in my position?
Mercy! Please, have mercy!
You've made your bed.
We may both be desert dwellers, but there is one thing that I understand better than you. The resurrection of the Scarlet King will only result in war. And war serves no one. The people of Aru Village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but we wish to preserve our way of life. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have. And that is not a responsibility that you can afford to shoulder.
We understand. We're sorry. I'll tell you everything I know. Please, just let us go.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about the Scarlet King's resurrection. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in the Scarlet King's resurrection. They give their lives, and we can get anything we wish for.
They're called
Klingt
village
ja wild.
keepers. Slip up again, and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread word about the Scarlet King's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return, he said he'll help facilitate the resurrection process.
Ah, wo sind die Dorfwächter? Sag an.
I'm not sure.
That's one.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die by my hand.
Wait, I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything. It was all him.
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery guy takes them from there. You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear. Just ask them if you don't believe me.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not risking another beating to keep his secrets. No way. That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face. He calls himself the Scarlet King's envoy.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uh-oh.
Uncle Anpu? What do you mean?
Smooth.
Okay, speak.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of could be from the academia.
Warte, was?
Some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the village keepers away. I refused, insisting that they are part of our community. It strikes me now that this secretive character shares the same goal they had.
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers right into their hands. They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back? We aren't gonna let that happen.
Ah.
Not the academia again.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars. Regardless, our top priority now is locating the village keepers.
You're right. Isak is still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready.
You look worried. Thinking about the village keepers?
Yes. I'd look for them myself if I could. As members of our village, each one of them is very important to me.
You have a strong sense of belonging here. I guess I'm the opposite. Mercs are stray dogs, wherever they go.
Dia, don't say that. You can be a part of this community too.
Thanks. I'll let you know when I feel like joining.
Oh. Na, helfen.
Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Whoa! Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus far.
You were gone for ages, and now you're suddenly sitting here musing to yourself? Where have you been anyway?
Antworte.
Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname! Never mind. Paimon's got nothing. It's super obvious to pick with this guy. It makes it so hard.
Findet Chat for Paimon, please.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village to investigate. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru Village and keep searching for the truth of this matter, yes?
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here, so we thought that we might as well take the search elsewhere.
Meine Fresse.
Enough with the silent treatment!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
All Hatham. You haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village. Bold of you to question our choices.
Yeah, you're all talk!
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do, which I've now finished.
Really? Paimon doesn't believe you.
To be honest, we
I don't
aren't
buy a
really
thing.
a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
Huh? Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that, you need to understand where she's coming from.
What does that mean?
She?
How do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
You mean some of them lied to us?
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, these people have their reasons. Remember what Gandis said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. That's because whether the Scarlet King or the Dendro Archon has power is of little significance to them. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believed there was no further information to be found in this village. Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you arrived. The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce unpredictability into the equation.
Okay, ist was dran.
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are Scarlet King fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the Radicals' next target.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru Village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Then why would she lie?
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why she might be so wary about all this, maybe you should ask her.
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
We're on it!
Ja gut, Sino hat auch sehr, sehr böse Augen. Das muss man ihm echt lassen. Während wir eher freundliche und hilfsbereite Augen haben. Dann schauen wir
Miss
mal.
Shawnee, as we discussed earlier, I've brought someone with me.
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but how can I make sure that your friends think the same as you?
Huh? What do you mean? We need to clarify our stance or something?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers you want. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you something. Do you think the resurrection of the Scarlet King can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing to talk to you, even though I do have some reservations. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like this. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Yeah, we came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of any one nation. But even so, we've met lots of people from different places, and we've always fought for what we believed in. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for a while.
I want to trust you. My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay. We understand.
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in anywhere in Sumeru. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in the Scarlet King. I don't belong to either side, and neither side would want me.
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that anyone who's different from them is a traitor?
Wahrscheinlich.
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. It makes no difference what I say or how I behave. I'll always be suspected of having ulterior motives. Slowly,
Klasse.
I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. All I want is to live my life in peace. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't dare breathe a word about it to anyone. Until now.
You can tell them. I'm sure he'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Alhaitham. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes, I hear strange crying sounds in the night.
There are ghosts?
Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the sound of crying. It comes from far away in the distance, and always carries very raw emotion. It used to be louder and more frequent, but ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often, and when it does, it's much quieter. I have to focus really hard to make it out.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But, because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far from the village.
Krankenhaus.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Yeah, let's go!
Katzen. Frage ist, wo ist der offizielle Weg nach draußen aus dem Dorf? Ach, wir haben keinen. Das ist ein Dead-End, das Dorf. Stattdessen gibt es hier rechtsrum noch einen anderen Alternativweg. Irgendwie so. Hi. Yes? Ach, da. Hinter der Statue geht's weiter. Kaktussen. Na gut, Kaktussen kann man nicht hauen. Was? Kakteen? Nee, ich meine schon dich. Cool. Ist jetzt auch kein abbaubares Holz? Ist das abbaubare Holz? Das ist ja wild. Nein. Echt diese dicken... Oh Gott. Zum Teleporter zu kommen. So, was ist hier Neues? Lose Sandhügel. Ein kleiner Sandhaufen, der von der Animo-Kraft leicht weggeblasen werden kann. Was Gutes darunter liegen kann. Okay. Ich will gleich nochmal gucken, wo das war. Ja, wie?
No touching!
So. No more scorpions here. Thank you very much. So, jetzt die losen Sandhügel.
Next on the agenda.
Irgendwo zu sehen, also fallen. Glaube ich. Ach so, das da. Nee. Kann hier bitte ausziehen? Heck. Wir tauschen nicht mal kurz aus gegen ein bisschen.
Want me to come along?
Ja. Was ist das an Tür? Okay. Verstehe. Now I understand.
Drat. You caught me. Can't catch me. Ha. Huh. Huh. Yeah, I'll protect us. Huh. Hi. Huh. 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 Hi. Huh. Oh. Huh. 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 Born of ice and frost. Huh.
No more Mr. Pilzguy.
Scatter!
Let's dance. La 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 la. No touching. And away I go. Cha. Ha. Born of ice and frost. Cha.
So. Eigentlich muss ich mir dringend ein anderes Team zusammenstellen für die Wüste. Das ist eine Katastrophe, ey. Das Bergdattelholz. Noch mehr Bergdattelholz, okay. So. Das wir eigentlich mit dem Netz der Omnibiquität Lobbaum fangen sollen. Ich bin so weit. So. Ihr wollt spielen? Wir können gerne spielen. Kommt her.
There is no escape.
So einen hole ich nicht mehr. Ah!
Into the wind. Fallen leaves adorn my
Tada! So lohnt sich doch die Sache doch schon eher. So. Mann. Was soll mir jetzt hängen bleiben hier? Ist ja schlimm. So.
Oh, is this the place? It's in terrible shape, and there's sand everywhere.
Empty and forgotten. An ideal place to hide people.
Surprise, mother truckers!
one with
Nee,
nature.
that's not close enough. That's
Rain
close enough.
outlines your fate. Let me go.
Illusion shattered. Ha!
Vorräte klauen, kann ich gut.
to the wind. As one with wind and cloud. Shine down, torn to oblivion. Time to go. One with nature.
Life goes on.
There is no escape.
Go. Orders given. Orders received. Ring cutter.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night. Shine down. Inazuma shines eternal.
Ein Lavatscher, wie süß. Bei dem mich nicht mehr die Armor interessiert.
They were easier to deal with than Paimon had expected. Super strong bandits? Or monsters taller than buildings dropping out of the sky? Or, you know, something like that.
Ah, alles klar, Paimon.
He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one.
Dendro Daddy. Lul.
Let's go in and take a look.
It's not much.
Hey, we haven't found Squat. Are you sure we aren't wasting our time here?
Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then,
Ja.
I'm taking a break.
Wow.
And just like that, he sits down. Wait, he even brought a book to read? What are you reading? Let Paimon see.
Also, wenn das kein
Okay, sure.
Forschungsbuch wäre,
The natural position, which is the positional propensity of an entity in natural motion in contrast with an object in forced motion? Huh? When free from external influences, every entity displays the tendency to follow its natural trajectory?
So, you got that?
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya!
das Schlimme ist, er hat ein Buch dabei.
He's so relaxed. Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this.
Also, wenn das kein wissenschaftliches Buch wäre, sondern eine Love Novel oder ein Hentai-Manga oder so, dann würde ich ihn ja konsequent Kakashi nennen. Hat ein bisschen was von ihm, jetzt wo ich so drüber nachdenke. Aber es ist ein Wissenschaftsbuch. Schade. Nun, Hilfe. Sorry.
Hey, Paimon's your Tibet travel guide. Paimon knows plenty of useful stuff already. And anyway, it's not Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru are so complicated.
Achso, und diese Diskussion bringt uns direkt in die Nacht. Ah ja.
Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
Spielen wir jetzt Phasmophobia in Genshin Impact? Müssen wir jetzt Geister suchen? Oder austreiben?
There it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
Also, sorry Leute, aber dieses Brett da unten auf dem Boden ist
It's
einfach...
from below.
But there's no way we can get down there.
Brett weg!
Something is off about the interior here.
Kommt schon, wie obvious war das bitte?
As I thought, there's a hidden structure.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into this one. Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms around here. Let's keep exploring.
Weißt du, wir fangen an oben mit der Surface von dem Gebäude. Ich hier, ja, ja. Ja, erstmal alles einsammeln. Hat mich das vorhin getriggert. So. Ah, guck mal da. Da ist ja auch der Dendroculo. Dendroculus oder das Dendroculi?
The wind knows me.
Ein Zoom-Routine ist eine Katastrophe. Aber ist ein Travel eigentlich so schlecht? Sag mal. Weil die Artefakte der letzte Schrott sind. Also Weise fertig. Sternbild ist sowieso schrecklich. Talente. Naja, let's not talk about it. Ist okay. Das könnten ein paar Level vertragen, ne? Aber sonst? Die Artefakte müsste ich dringend aufbessern. Eigentlich. Also wirklich aufbessern. Naja. Von den Talenten ganz zu schweigen, aber die Talente habe ich ja schon fast hochgerissen. Was ist mit Traveler so eine Nullnummer? Ist das schlimm? Wahrscheinlich gibt es einfach nur Material. So ein Golden. Upp. Wo war das hier dran? Ah. Ah. Ein Schlüssel für. Ah! Außenbereich frei. Okay. So, wo 1, dann 2. Da ist Tor 3. Falsche Taste.
protect us.
Propagate!
Und auf zum dritten. Let's go. Wo lag ich's her? Wann gibt's euch in Geo?
Access denied.
Sieht aus wie ein Brötchen nebenbei. Nicht wie ein Pilz.
Next on the agenda. Let's dance. Huh. Hi, born of ice and frost.
Noch mehr Gegner im Einmarsch.
Ready, steady, go! Hey! For Rex Lapis! Let the show begin. Hi, ho, ho, hi, ho, ho.
Scatter! Spring forth!
Ninjutsu! Access denied.
Tot.
Propagate!
Ich mach's mir aber auch unnötig schwer in dem Gebiet hier, ne? Ganz ehrlich. Also wirklich. Feuerwerk. Kartoffel. Oh. Wow. Okay. Wir müssen jetzt das untersuchen, alles klar. In einer Notfallsituation bitte sofort den am jeweiligen Tag... Ah, fuck! Nochmal lesen. In einer Notfallsituation bitte sofort den am jeweiligen Tag diensthabenden Arzt verständigen. Montag Ibrahim, Dienstag... schwierig. Mittwoch Amudi. Der Rest ist leer. Heilmitteilung. Patient Abbas, männlich, 23 Jahre alt, hat ein Muttermal an der linken Schädelseite, ist linkshändig. Achso, hat an der linken Schädelseite ist linkshändig. Da der Krankenzustand weiterhin überaus ernst ist. Schwebt in akuter Todesgefahr. Ohne die Behandlung durch einen Spezialisten ist das Leben des Patienten... Sobald dies entdeckt wird, muss sofort eine Benachrichtigung erfolgen. Lass die Hoffnung nicht aufgeben und musst optimistisch bleiben. Wisse, dass alle unter dem Blick der Götter stehen und gib auf keinen Fall auf. Aufgrund des hohen Alters des Dokuments und des damit einhergehenden schlechten Zustands ist der restliche Text nicht mehr entzifferbar. Das ist belastend. Mahlzeiten dieser Woche. Ernähre dich gut, mache regelmäßig Ruhepausen und bleibe bei guter Stimmung. Montag. Minzbohnensuppe, Tachin, Mittagessen, Currygarnelen, Panipuri, Abendessen. Dienstag, Salat. Biryani, Mittagessen, Fisch in Milchsoße, Kartoffelbrot. Kartoffelbrot? Abendessen. Mittwoch. Shakshuka, Bohnen, Reiskuchen, Mittagessen. Es ist leer. Okay. That's an asylum, alright. Alte Vase. Blickst in den Flaschenhals hinein, in der Flasche scheint noch ein schwarzer Stängel zu sein. In die Flasche wurden damals wohl Blumen gesteckt. Worte für Avon wurden in den Flaschenboden eingebrannt. Sie diente wohl als Geschenk für eine Person namens Avon. Arvin. Katze.
Look, there's someone over there. Good idea. Let's approach him slowly without alarming him.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are unfocused. But he looks too young to be anyone's grandfather. Also, why is he the only one here?
Didn't expect to see him here.
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the Academia.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holes up in a forest and mumbles stuff about training?
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life. Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here alone means that we might be too late. Looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. Perhaps they simply didn't have time to come back for him. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded with people?
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were afraid of being caught. In their haste, they failed to notice Razak hiding in a corner. The symptoms are identical. Looks like we found living proof.
Huh? Why do you say that?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time at Port Ormos. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Ach, sie haben ihn dem... Ja.
Oh, now that you mention it, they're acting the same way.
Correct. The Academia is behind all of this. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the Academia spread a false rumor of the Scarlet King's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. Unbeknownst to them, of course, through rounding up the scholars, they were actually helping the Academia. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the Academia. All the risks and responsibilities are offloaded onto the Scarlet King's followers. Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since the Scarlet King's death all those years ago. Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to exploit that for their own ends simply needs to make a few empty promises. Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of the Scarlet King and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. A deep-seated mistrust of the desert and everyone in it by the rest of Sumeru will make sure of that.
Wow, that's schon deep short.
The notion of an Academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under Sumeru's current circumstances.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chief's theory, too. academia that brought the scholars to Aru Village in the first place? Why does it want them back now?
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. The scholars' identity. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. And finally, they become missing persons. An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, that is brought into question. If you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an ideal resource.
Resource? For what exactly?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge comes from people's brains?
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, it's entirely possible. Perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night, when no one is watching them.
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Paimon doesn't want to think about this.
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. But something went wrong in the process. Or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
Paimon's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge is just one of the extreme measures they turn to. However, I can't help but wonder, what do they seek to gain from divine knowledge? The Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge, but what is their ultimate goal? I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to no avail. It seems like my way of thinking is too different from theirs.
Mir fehlen ein paar Informationen.
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden stuff?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods, so I don't share their degree of zealotry. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of academic progress, then the Academia may as well shut its doors.
Sounds like you're really against all this.
Of course. The Academia's actions run contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, the rules and order that govern everything in the world will be destroyed. This matter needs to be corrected, just like fixing a typo in a book.
Ja.
Wait, didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for those poor people?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that.
Aua.
There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well. What do you plan to do about that? Save every last person?
Ehrlich gesagt, ja.
Probably not. Paimon's not sure.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. I do what I want. The Divine Knowledge Capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake of a few strangers.
Okay. Au.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the academia, but you're not one of them. You're their weirdo.
You're probably right.
Ja, das ist richtig.
Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out. Uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only Miss Shani had a similar mindset, her life would definitely be a lot easier.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. There's nothing more to it than that. He won't last long if we leave him here. Let's take him with us. We'll work out our next step after we return to Aru Village.
Anstatt dass wir den fucking Schleifspuren folgen, Alter. Ah, da ist der Schlüssel. Endlich. So. Das Problem ist, die Schleifspuren enden hier. Ja. A little minor detail. What the whole thing. Yes. Was für Schätze hier wohl zu finden sind? Ja, nicht viel. Schrankesvolle Hefte, ihr blättert durch. Es scheint sich um Krankenhausdokumente wie Patientenakten und Bilanzunterlagen zu handeln. Enttäuscht liegt in den Schrank. Man hat gedacht, dass da drin irgendwelche besonderen Schätze zu finden wären und dabei war da weniger drin als in einem als in den Holzeimern und Holzkisten, über die wir auf unseren ungewöhnlichen Abenteuern stolpern. Ist wenigstens weißkontrolltes Geflügel drin. Nanu? Was ist das denn? Es sieht aus, als wäre es von innen herausgefallen. Paimon schaut sich das mal an. Vielleicht ist das ja ein Hinweis auf einen Schatz. Name des Patienten, Abbas. Geschlecht männlich, Beruf Bauer. Grundzustand bei Einlieferung. Haut an den Extremitäten von schuppenartigem Ausschlag bedeckt. Haut an den Extremitäten von schuppenartigem Ausschlag bedeckt. Okay. Geschwüre auf dem Rücken, der Brust und anderen Stellen der Körperoberfläche. Keine Kraft in den Extremitäten, eingeschränkte Bewegungsfähigkeit. Bei klarem Verstand, geistige Erschöpfung, Schlaf- und Appetitmangel. Behandelnder Arzt Amudi. Zustand in der ersten Woche des Krankenhausaufenthalts. Neuer Ausschlag an den Extremitäten. Geschwüre an der Körperoberfläche haben sich ausgeweitet. Der linke Arm scheint fast nicht mehr zu gebrauchen zu sein und schmerzt. Klarem Verstand, geistige Erschöpfung, Schlaf- und Appetitmangel. Der Arzt Amuni. Zustand in der dritten Woche des Krankenhausaufenthalts. Schuppenartiger Ausschlag hat sich auf der Körperoberfläche ausgebreitet. In mehreren Geschwüren hat Nekrose eingesetzt. Patient im Koma. Behandelnder Arzt Amudi, ja okay. Zustand in der 9. Woche des Krankenhausaufenthalts. Nekrose in Geschwüren ist unter Kontrolle. Kein neuer Ausschlag auf der Körperoberfläche. Patient im Koma. Koma, behandelnder Arzt ausgegraut. Zustand in der 15. Woche des Krankenhausaufenthalts. Die Wunde der Ersetzungstherapie ist selbst nach dieser langen Zeit nicht verheilt. Kein neuer Ausschlag auf der Körperoberfläche. Extremitäten ohne Kraft. Der Patient kann Dinge nicht selbstständig greifen, hat Fieber und erbricht sich. Bei klarem Verstand, geistiger Erschöpfung, Schlafmangel, Nahrungsaufnahme unmöglich. Behandelnder Arzt? Fragezeichen. Zustand in der 21. Woche des Krankenhausaufenthalts. Ausschlag auf der Körperoberfläche vorläufig unter Kontrolle. Funktion der neuen Extremität wiederhergestellt. Chronischer, blutiger Husten. Patient neigt zu Anfällen. Wir haben Verstand, geistiger Zustand ist gut, Schlaf und Appetit sind gut. Behandelnder Arzt, ausgeraut. Lass mich raten. Der Doktor hat damit zu tun, also Il Dottore. Elisa, scheint furchtbar zu sein. Steht auf dem anderen Dokument. Patient, aber aus Geschlecht männlich, Beruf Bauer, behandelnder Arzt, ausgegraut, Zustand. Nach 20 Behandlungswochen sind die neue Haut und der linke Arm vom Probanden 4 gut geheilt. Appetit und Schlaf haben sich nicht gebessert. Die mentale Verfassung fluktuiert außerhalb des Normbereichs. Es kam zu mehreren Versuchen, den Pflegebereich zu verlassen. Als Grund für diese Handlungsweise gab der Proband: Die Stimme des Gottes hat mich geleitet an. Was vermuten lässt, dass er wahrhafte Tendenzen hat. Zudem könnte ein Zusammenhang zwischen dieser sogenannten Stimme des Gottes und dem aus der topografischen Struktur der Dünen resultierenden Resonanzphänomen bestehen. Dem? Also Phänomen, ja, okay. Die sollte untersucht werden, um unkontrollierbare Eingangsstörungen auszuschließen. Die Überwachung muss verschärft werden. Okay. Behandlungsprogramm. Zweite Phase der Experimente liefert erste Ergebnisse. Nächste Phase. Unbekannt. Ziel. Die Organe von Probanden 4. Nach einer umfassenden Untersuchung ist Proband 3 das geeignete Versuchsmaterial für die dritte Phase der Experimente. Vor der Durchführung von ist es erforderlich. Im Verlauf des Prozesses sind andauerndes Erbrechen und reguläre Begleiterscheinungen. Vor dem Prozess ist es notwendig, die körpereigenen vom Probanden 4 vorzubereiten, um die Zirkulation von aufrechtzuerhalten. Nach Abschluss der grundlegenden Schritte im Zusammenhang mit muss der Proband eine Woche lang unter Beobachtung gestellt werden. Sollte ein normaler Ablauf der physiologischen Aktivitäten der Organe eine Verminderung der Geschwindigkeit, der sich der Ausschlag auf der Körperoberfläche ausbreitet und verschlimmert, und die Wiederherstellung der Funktion der Gliedmaße festgestellt werden, kann die nächste Phase der Experimente erfolgen. Anmerkungen des Arztes. Alle Probanden haben eine Gemeinsamkeit. Die Konzentration an Elementen in ihren Körpern ist ungewöhnlich hoch, und dies steht in einer Korrelation mit dem Schweregrad der Erkrankung. Nach den Experimenten ist die Konzentration der Elemente in den Körpern abgesunken, und die Probanden meldeten eine Abschwächung der Krankheitssymptome. Dies führt zu folgender Hypothese: Zwischen der Konzentration an Elementen und der sogenannten ELISA besteht ein Kausalzusammenhang. Es müssen weitere Kontrollversuche durchgeführt werden, um redundante Faktoren auszuschließen. Hinweis: Der Anreicherungsprozess für Elemente in einem menschlichen Körper ist möglicherweise von dynamischer Natur. Nach dem Abschluss der ersten Experimente haben verschiedene Indikatoren der körperlichen Verfassung von Probanden 1 innerhalb kurzer Zeit in Richtung der Normalwerte tendiert. Im späteren Verlauf ist die Konzentration der Elemente im Körper des Probanden wieder angestiegen, weil nicht vollständig durchgeführt wurde. Damit einhergehend haben sich auch die Symptome verschlimmert, was dazu führte, dass Proband 1, wobei nicht die Möglichkeit bestand, das Versuchsmaterial wieder zu verwerten. Okay. Gewonnene Erkenntnis. Es müssen Vorkehrungen für langfristige Experimente getroffen werden. Dafür muss man auch mental vorbereitet sein. Bevor sich die Krankheitssymptome eines Probanden nicht stabilisiert haben und unter Kontrolle sind, darf nicht eingestellt werden. Aufgrund der Natur der Experimente sind Methoden erforderlich, um die emotionale Verfassung der Testobjekte zu stabilisieren. Dazu könnte die Entfernung von erprobt werden. Mit der neuen Methode ist die Verlustrate an Versuchsmaterial stark gesunken. Aufgrund ihrer inhärenten Veranlagung und der Assoziation mit haben die Probanden 2 und 3 die Merkmale einer Geistesstörung entwickelt und tendieren dazu, die Krankheit einer rational nicht zu erklärenden Gottesstrafe zuzuschreiben. Als Folge davon halten sie es für Blasphemie, als Heilmittel zu verwenden. Eine sehr interessante Denkweise, die aus einer neuralen Stimulation resultierenden kognitiven Veränderungen zu untersuchen, käme als ein zukünftiges Forschungsthema in Betracht. Aufgrund der oben genannten nicht kontrollierbaren Faktoren konnten sie letztendlich nicht über Phase 2 hinausgehen. Sehr bedauerlich. Doch das Material, das diese beiden Probanden geliefert haben, ist das bisher qualitativ beste Material. Es gibt Grund zu der Annahme, dass es einen Zusammenhang zwischen der Qualität des von diesen beiden Probanden gelieferten Materials und dem perfekten Versuchsverlauf vom Probanden 4 gibt. Sobald die 3 Phasen des Experiments abgeschlossen sind und die Krankheitssymptome vom Probanden 4 vollständig abgeklungen sind, wird es möglich sein, Folgendes zu beweisen. Mittels kann die Konzentration an Elementen in einem menschlichen Körper ohne Rückgriff auf die Elementarkraft kontrolliert werden. Dies hat das Potenzial, zu einer Waffe gemacht zu werden. In Zukunft müssen die Forschungen und Diskussionen über forciert werden. Menschen haben unbegrenzte Möglichkeiten. Für mich als Forscher könnte es vielleicht töricht sein, etwas derartiges zu schreiben, doch bei einer ausreichend großen Aufnahme könnte man das Niveau des Gottes erreichen, an dem die Testsubjekte sprechen. Ja, man versteht rein gar nichts. Ist vielleicht besser, dass du das nicht verstehst. Oh, kannst du das verstehen? Weil man hat nur etwas von einer anleitenden Stimme Gottes verstanden. Könnte etwa wirklich eine sonderbare Stimme erklungen sein, die die Leute angeleitet hat? Vielleicht waren es unterirdische Wasseradern oder biologische Aktivitäten. Ja, genau. Vielleicht gibt es im Untergrund ja irgendwelche Ruinen. Wenn wir irgendwelche Geräusche hören, sollten wir uns das genauer ansehen. Bevor ich geboren wurde. Was hat's damit schon wieder auf sich? Die Leute wollen nicht einmal seinen Namen nennen oder sich daran erinnern, was er sagte und tat. Ildotore. 100 Pro. Er war hier stationiert und hat nur ihm das komplette Ding vor die Wand gefahren quasi. Na klasse. Dann gucken wir doch mal. Nächste Katze wahrscheinlich. Yes.
We're back!
You must be tired. You should rest and take some water.
What's the situation?
Who's this?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar Hospital served as the Academia's site for extracting divine cant knowledge.
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru Village, since divine cant knowledge has been in circulation for a while now. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village, almost as if they knew we were on their trail.
Yeah, why is that?
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the Academia.
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Also ich sag's mal so. Wir haben einen mit einer Akasha dabei und es könnte sein, dass die Akademie diese Akasha beobachtet.
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
Das ist eine gerechtfertigte Antwort.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is, Sino's the mole. Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Alhaitham, since you were always acting alone.
Yes.
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available, including the less than savory details. Simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you? If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The
Aha.
academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day, preferred methods of enacting judgment, everything.
You're saying that the academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
The Akasha is capable of computation. The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination. It knew all of this.
Okay, das ist jetzt weird.
It predicted my every move.
The academia has been watching you longer than you think.
Ja, okay, dass er nur den ersten Satz ausspricht, finde ich ein bisschen doof. Jedenfalls zeigt sich die Tatsache, dass du zurückgetreten und die Akademie verlassen wolltest. Dass die Einschätzung richtig war. Okay.
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn in their side. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally you are.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Es ändert nichts daran, dass Elhilfe trotzdem mit einer Akasha rumrennt.
So that's how it is. Paimon gets it now. If the academia is trying to avoid Sino, then the safest place would be...
Na, dort, in dem Channel gerade war.
Yep, that's right.
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I
Die
must
hier.
go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Please, wait! I want to go too!
You want to go too? If so, you have to promise you'll stay safe.
I want to find Grandpa. I promise I'll be careful and not cause any trouble.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let's go! Remember to pack some food with you! Paimon feels like we're missing someone, though.
Der.
I'll be awaiting your good news.
That's it. Okay, Onkel Anpu.
Please, stay safe, everyone.
Yes. Katze. Doch nicht. Wo zum Geier? Wegdaten bitte. Ich gehe den richtigen Weg. Ach, es gibt da keinen offiziellen Weg hin. Der 2. Okay. Oder besser gesagt keinen direkten Straßenweg. Deswegen gibt es ja keine Zielführung. Aber ich denke, ich habe schon gesehen, worauf es hinausläuft. Hallo Katzen. Äpfel. Yes, please. Das ist eine Kochstelle. Hallo Maruf. Hier ist ein Aufzug. Don't tell me this thing works. This thing certainly works. Alright. Hallo Sino.
So, where do we go from here?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert. But I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's
Akashas?
buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need to roll up our sleeves and do some work.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work.
Ach, chill mal.
Okay. So, we have to dig it out? Whatever's down there, it looks like it's buried really deep.
Na. Ist nur sehr klein.
These are likely fragments of an Academia-developed device, something akin to a headset. Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way because there are device fragments scattered around here. Let's split up and search the area. Chances are that we'll find other things nearby.
Is this what we're searching for? It looks kind of scary.
This is definitely a device used to extract divine knowledge.
How did it end up buried in the sand? That can't have been part of the plan. They must have been attacked along the way.
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left fairly recently.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that the device had been entirely covered by sand, I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone far.
Ja.
Ugh, but running on sand is so tiring.
Paimon, halt's Maul, du
But
fliegst.
you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
Ugh, of course it is.
Hör auf zu jammern. Dankeschön. Lass den Regulator wechseln hier. Jetzt sind wir noch besser hier hin. Weil hier fast schon ja die Seele wieder passen
Over
würde.
there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Look at
Ja.
closer. they'll notice us.
Oh. Warte mal, der.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do. Need me to...
I knew it. That's our Dia.
Dia? Why would you? Dia!
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? Why are you on their side?
Well, look who's here. Ain't that something?
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aru village?
So, this is the great General Mahamatra. Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for yourself, I have the means and methods, and my ideals are far more admirable than theirs.
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You of all people should know that.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
Ouch.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing could deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting the Scarlet King. Once our Lord of Old returns to this land, we will have a new beginning.
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as a merc taught you nothing about placing hopes in a ruler?
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of the Scarlet King. Whether I live by the edge of the sword or in peaceful comfort, my soul will always carry this conviction.
It's not too late yet. The village Mad scholars aren't gonna bring the Scarlet King back to life.
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life. Even if the chance of success is 1 in a million, we must be willing to give everything we have.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the Eremites? Your Eremites, which you've worked so hard for all these years?
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon no longer shine here. All you see now is cracks in this desiccated land. But fate has finally dealt me a hand to play against the Academia. With these scholars in our custody, we'll stomp the Academia's forces and fight our way beyond the wall of Samiel.
Ridiculous. Think about it. The Academia controls the entirety of Sumeru. Your powers are negligible in comparison. If you still don't believe me, then try asking these 2 men. They're also against the Academia, but neither of them are as arrogant as you are.
They look more like pawns of the Academia to me. Why would I listen to anything the people of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata have to say? Filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed the Scarlet King. We desert dwellers will never trust the likes of you.
It's impossible to communicate with someone so hostile. Perhaps we should.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the Academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips, but I could be persuaded to take their place as your next hostage. These scholars were exiled from the Academia. I, on the other hand, am their current scribe, and will be a much greater asset to you.
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places with the hostages, do you?
Precisely. Any wise person would gladly accept my offer.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars, perhaps even find out the truth.
Think you can talk me over with that confident look of yours?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a means of joining forces against the Academia.
You are the scribe. What do you have against the Academia?
Not all desert dwellers believe in the Scarlet King, and the same applies to the Academia. Why must all knowledge seekers approve of the Academia's way of doing things?
You Academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like everyone else on the other side of that wall. I've made myself clear enough. I won't listen to another word from the Dendro Archon's people.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never make empty promises.
You know you're making a dangerous decision, right?
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the Dendro Archon at their word, but what about me? Do you trust me?
We've known each other for years. Of course I do.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the Academia, you need to steel yourself. You can't be afraid.
Huh. An arm from the Flame Mane. You've piqued my interest. But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs. And mercs don't tend to live long unless they have their wits about them.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friends that we'd bring back the village keepers together.
Let's do it right here then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to negotiate! He just wants to make things more difficult!
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Raman, I'm holding up my end of the deal here. You'd better not let me down.
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it!
Dia! Run!
Stop!
What's wrong? Can't do it?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off my own fingers. Where's the sense in cutting my own kin to pieces? You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and leave. Meet me in the desert at noon tomorrow.
Phew. I was really counting on him not going through with it.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you all lost your minds? What if he'd actually cut your arm off?
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm.
Der! Das ist ein Zweihänder. Du brauchst dafür 2 Hände. Nicht nur eine. Mädel, ich dachte schon, Beidou sei verrückt, ne? Aber du, der. Listen to me. You are another level of crazy. Please stop that. That's not healthy.
Okay, I'm sorry. But sometimes when you're out on a limb, you gotta double down to seal the deal, you know?
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the likes of them. If it came down to it, you would not lose to them either.
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. There's a lot more where they came from. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there. Wiping them out would do more harm than good.
As you wish.
Ja.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and listened. I should have trusted you.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa, so I'll do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar material.
Huh? Are you serious?
Elhafem, nein.
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential to be successful in research.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself?
Weil es Elhafem ist. Das ist nur sein Objektivismus, achte nicht drauf. Er ist halt so.
Okay, let's get moving. We should head back to the village and rest up. Today was just a trial run. Noon tomorrow is gonna be the hard part.
Bin mal gespannt. Reportierte mich jetzt ernsthaft zurück zum Arum. Oh. Na. So, zurück. Die Katzen will ich mir noch antun. 6 bis 8 Uhr. Zeit genau überzogen, Alter. Wollte mich eigentlich... Ah, okay. Ja, der kleine Isaac. Candice. Wo sind Elhafem und Sino?
You're all here so early.
So.
Looks like we have everyone here. Isak, are you sure you want to come with us?
I'll watch from a safe distance. Dia, I want to be there to bring Grandpa home.
Es gefällt mir nicht, dass wir den Kleinen mit dabei haben.
Okay, let's go then.
Ich meine, der Kleine ist
Dia,
wirklich stark und
wait.
alles, ne? Aber, was ist, wenn seinem Opa doch was passiert? Das wäre
What's
nicht
the matter?
so geil.
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday. No more of that today, understood? Or I'll be very upset with you.
Läuft da vielleicht was? Das fühlt sich gerade wieder an wie so eine kleine Jean-Lisa-Beziehung. Nun.
Fine.
Auf zum vereinbarten Ort. Ach du Scheiße. Oh. Okay. Alright. Ah. Boy. Gut, dann, würde ich mal behaupten, da es ins nächste Gebiet geht, machen wir hier tatsächlich Schicht, weil ich kriege auch gerade Informationen, dass ich so langsam los muss. Hab heute wieder ein Familiendate und so. Dann erkunde ich die Sache offscreen dann die Nacht. Also macht zumindest die Karte frei, dass wir da relativ simpel hin können. Und dann machen wir mit der Story weiter. So nämlich. Mit dieser Enttäuschung. Zurück ins Zelt.